Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. Federal judges blocked Mississippi's enforcement of a voting ban, a decision that could have far-reaching implications. We'll talk with the senior director for voting and representation at the Brennan Center for Justice about this decision. Wisconsin Republicans, they want the new Democrat elected Supreme Court justice. Guess what? They want her to recuse herself from lawsuits challenging the GOP-drawn electoral maps. Why? Because she won? Really? Several of those charged in Georgia's elections case, including former Trump lawyers Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis, turned themselves in today. We got the mugshots. We'll show it to you. Plus, months after the Georgia Senate failed to pass the Crown Act, Valdosta State University baseball coach, he's accused of alleged hair discrimination. A leaked recording is raising questions about hair bias. Also, my homeboy, fellow NABJ member, senior NBA writer Marc Spears, recently awarded the Kurt Gowdy Print Media Award for the Basketball Hall of Fame. We're here to discuss his career, but also a new show he has on Hulu. Plus, I'll recap the 10th annual Ced The Entertainer Golf Classic in Cabo. And Steve Harvey, you gonna come for me on the golf course? Nah, bruh, I ain't the one. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the miss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, y'all. It's rolling Martin, yeah. Rolling with rolling now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's rolling Martin now.
Earlier this month, a panel of Fifth Circuit Court judges blocked Mississippi's enforcement of a voting ban, which is part of the state's constitution. A 2-1 decision struck down the state's practice of permanently stripping voting rights from people convicted of certain felonies. This dates back to Jim Crow. Mississippi attorneys, led by State Attorney General Lynn Fitch, want the full New Orleans-based court with 16 active members to reconsider the case, saying the earlier ruling conflicts with Supreme Court precedent and rulings in other circuit courts. Kareem Creighton, the Senior Director for Voting and Representation at the Brennan Center for Justice at NYU Law. He joins us right now. So just walk us through, Kareem, exactly the impact of this. How many people does this impact? And I would assume a significant number are African American.
Thanks for the invitation, Roland. And yes, you're right. This provision that's been struck down in Mississippi affects about 10% of the Mississippi population, and a significant portion of them are African American. And interestingly, of that population, about 90% of people who are banned for life for a conviction, whether or not it has anything to do with voting, are people who no longer are in prison. So these are people out going on with their lives, rebuilding relationships with communities, and they have no opportunity to engage in the political process. But since its inception, this provision has affected a significant number of African Americans. As you, I'm sure, know, African Americans as a percentage are the largest percentage of any other state in the country, in the state of Mississippi, and about a sixth of the African American population are affected by this provision. So there's a huge disparity in terms of its effect.
So first and foremost, when did this go into law?
So this was a provision, as in many southern states, that was first enacted following the end of the Reconstruction in Mississippi. The good white people decided to get together and pass a constitutional amendment, a series of them in 1890. And
but hold on, that 1890 constitutional conviction, for our artists, needs to understand, it was expressly called because they were angry with the number of black people that were being elected in Mississippi. And there was only one black person who was allowed to be a delegate at that convention, which was Isaiah T. Montgomery.
All facts. And as you know, throughout the South, at the end of the Reconstruction, part of the deal in getting the federal government to basically allow southern states to do what they wanted essentially put in place the structure of Jim Crow. And part of that was supported by new constitutional provisions that had the intention of keeping African Americans out of the political process. This particular provision was a part of it. It is fair to say that the courts have, for reasons I'm not fully appreciative of, but they've determined that there isn't the kind of intent-based evidence that this particular provision was born of race animus. Nonetheless, we know that it is the case that the Constitution of this period was designed with that purpose in mind, to keep African Americans out of the political process.
And again, so folks can understand when we talk about this court's reasoning, what they said previously is that, well, later efforts were made to make changes, so therefore there was some distance created from the original intent. But the original intent was specific. See, that's what's crazy. I love these so-called originalists when it fits their own ideology or their own rationale, how they believe in originalism when the original intent was expressly and explicitly to keep black people from voting.
This is one of the oddities and sometimes frustrating parts of law, that sometimes interpretation that you get sometimes from courts doesn't match up with reality that we all see. And that's exactly as you described it, the reasoning that goes to whether or not the court would assign racial intent to the current provision, which did undergo some changes. But as you also point out, it's traceable to this provision that was originally established. And the question that the court in prior cases has grappled with is, well, is it possible ever to rid yourself of, as some people put it, the taint of race animus? And in prior cases, the Fifth Circuit, dealing with a slightly different case, said, yeah, we think so. And in this case, the court essentially had to follow that existing precedent on the question as to whether or not it's born of intent, a racially invidious intent that would violate the 14th Amendment. On that issue, they had to follow what the Fifth Circuit said. But as you point out, they nonetheless got to a decision that said, well, we think for other reasons that this provision is unconstitutional, rooted in the Eighth Amendment.
Okay, so now they want to appeal. They want to appeal to the full Fifth Circuit for them to hear. Will they take that up?
Almost certainly they will, and I say that because, in part, this is a pretty different expected ruling than most people in Mississippi wanted. So they are going to push this to the limit. But also, it's fair to say this is a 2-1 decision, so it's a split panel. And one of the judges, Judge Jones, is pretty much in the center of where I think politically it's fair to say the Fifth Circuit as a whole is. So there will probably be further review. But the analysis that the court offers in this case is pretty consistent with Eighth Amendment law. That is, when you look at what is cruel and unusual, you ask yourself a general question. The analysis goes to, in our current society, are we able to say that this particular provision, whatever the challenge provision is so far outside of the norm that it's inconsistent with what we see in, modern civilized society as a valid form of punishment? And that's really where the court came out and said, yeah, we think there's analysis that shows us that is the case.
All right. Sort of time. When do we expect this to happen?
Well, the arguments will probably be scheduled, I'd assume, sometime this fall. It depends upon how quickly this court wants to rule. But I suspect the circuit as a whole, if they really, feel like there's a concern about the earlier decision that they want to make a statement of, it probably will follow fairly quickly. But I would guess in the next few months, we'll see argument, and probably either early next year or, shortly thereafter, we'd see a decision from the circuit as a whole.
All right, then. Last question for you. Is there, we talked about 10% of the population. How many people were we talking about who are impacted by this?
Well, we're talking easily tens of thousands of people. And it's, one of those things where people think about impact of, well, does it affect an election? It turns out in Mississippi, it could affect an election. You saw the last governor's races in a few of these states being really close. But beyond whether or not the margins do or don't affect an election outcome, it's always important to remember at the core of this are people who are entitled to their constitutional rights to vote. And so even if that number is a small number as sort of big aggregate measures go, it matters greatly. In particular, as you pointed out, in a state that has such a horrid racial history with respect to the treatment of African Americans. We should do right by people because it's the right thing to do as an American value.
All right, then. Kareem, great. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure to be with you.
All right, folks, we'll come back. I'll chat with my panel about this. We also will talk about what's happening in Georgia, where those Trump imps are turning themselves in. We got the mug shots. Can't wait till y'all see what Rudy looks like when he take his mud shot. And of course, recapping the Ced The Entertainer 10th Annual Celebrity Golf Classic. Can't wait to show you some of the good stuff from Cabo. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
You go into a barbershop in a 700 credit score neighborhood, black or white. They're talking about their ideas and they're talking about how they're going to move on those things. You go to a barbershop at a 500 credit score, equal brilliance, but bad culture, they're talking about other people. You go to a winner's barbershop, here's what I'm doing. You go to the barbershop of where people feel defeated, they talk about other people, either celebrities or people they admire, but also often, I don't like Joe. I don't like Roland Martin. Well, let me tell you something. I don't understand people. How could you not like anything here you see? You should just be like, this is amazing. It's cool. You may not even like how he does it or how I do it, but it's like, you know what? They're succeeding. They're killing it. All you should be is, that's fantastic. But if I don't like me, I'm not gonna like you. If I don't feel good about me, it's hard for me to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And here's the big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
Next on The Frequency with me, Dee Barnes, we're going to talk to Leslie Segar, a.k.a. Big Les, and talk about her incredible career as a dancer, choreographer, and VJ of Rap City.
Magic Johnson was there, so half the NBA was there. Iman the supermodels, so all the supermodels were there every day. Actors,
Right.
Like it was a who's who of who's who.
Right here on The Frequency in the Black Star Network.
Me, Sherry Shepard, with Sammy Roman.
I'm Dr. Robin B., pharmacist and fitness coach, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, my panel for today, Robert Patillo, host People, Passion, Politics, News and Talk 1380, WAOK out of Atlanta. Robert's an attorney there. Rebecca Carruthers, Vice President, Fair Elections Center out of D.C. Joe Richardson, Civil Rights Attorney out of L.A. I want to start with you, Rebecca, and that is this here. Look, these were racist Southern Democrats that actually passed this law in 1890. Who are the people who are defending these racist laws? Today they are Republicans. And so Republicans love to talk about, what Democrats, Southern Democrats created a lot of these racist laws. Well, guess who's now defending them in 2023? Republicans.
You know, I think it's really interesting that you say that. Last week, Robert said something that I thought was very poignant. He was asking, where are the 1865 Republicans? Where are the Republicans that actually support expansion of voting rights and making sure that African Americans in this country have the constitutional right to vote and are willing to uphold that belief across state legislatures, especially across the South? Right now, on the federal level, there are 5 active cases that are moving through the courts that's dealing with voting rights restoration for returning citizens, i.e. convicted felons. And my organization has the honor of representing 2 of those cases. One of my concerns with what's happening with the Fifth Circuit with this Mississippi case is that this was a small panel that made this decision, but it's getting ready, like when you talked to Kareem during the last segment, it's getting ready to go en banc, meaning in front of the entire the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. My concern is that when it goes in front of the entire court, that this will not be upheld. So I have a lot of concerns with Mississippi, as well as I think almost a dozen other states that have lifetime voting bans for certain convicted felons.
You know, the thing here, Robert, when we look at this, again, this is part of the Republican Party's strategy to steal elections, and that is to keep as many people as possible from voting or frustrating people in order for them to win. This literally is a part of their strategy.
You're absolutely correct. I think Republicans are putting themselves in a very strange constitutional pickle coming up. Because if you look at the 14th Amendment, 13, 14, and 15, the Civil War amendments together, if you take the voting part of it, there's part that says that if you are convicted of a felony or other serious offense, participation in insurrection, that you can lose the right to vote. And that's what felony disenfranchisement is based upon. That exact same amendment, a couple of sentences later, says that if you participate in insurrection or you're convicted of certain crimes, you cannot be president of the United States. So Republicans are going to go into 2024, on the one hand, arguing that Donald Trump should be allowed to run for president despite the 14th Amendment, but also saying that black folks should not be allowed to vote based upon the 14th Amendment. It's a complete nonsense argument that they've twisted themselves into. I think that's important for these quote-unquote well-meaning conservatives that we keep hearing about to be constitutionally clear on where exactly they stand. Either you're saying, A, black folks and brown folks who are convicted of felonies are not allowed to vote, and therefore Donald Trump is disqualified to run for president, or B, you were saying that Donald Trump is allowed to run for president and be the standard bearer of the Republican Party, and therefore we have to restore the voting rights for all returning citizens nationwide. You can't have it both ways. You can't say there are certain rules that apply to rich billionaires who are convicted of crimes and other rules that apply to minority groups who are convicted of crimes similarly. And I think until they can make this clarity, they're going to continue to find themselves on the wrong side of history. This could be the opportunity for Republicans to really become the party of criminal justice reform. You want to talk about a 2-tier justice system? Black folks been talking about that for a century. If you want to talk about prosecutorial discretion, black folks been talking about that for a century. If you want to talk about over-policing and raiding people's houses, etc., we've been on that. So now if you want to say that you have a problem with those things when it comes to Donald Trump and we need to defund the FBI, we need to defund Jack Smith, we need to defund the DOJ, well then why can't you come across the line and say that when it comes to police encounters for the rest of Americans who aren't Donald Trump, they have similar issues, they have similar complaints, and put together the type of coalition criminal justice reform bill that can get passed through the Congress, and Democrats will be happy to sign that into law. But they won't do it because racism is more important to them than winning anything else.
Okay, let's be real clear, Joe. They don't want to do none of that. They ain't trying to do none of that. No. What they want to do is they want to complain about Democrats today and try to say you were the party of the KKK, you were the party that supported slavery, but the party today that defends Confederate monuments, that defends Jim Crow era laws, is the Republican Party.
Yeah, I mean, what's old is what's new, Roland, right? First of all, quickly, happy birthday to my wife, Joy. I don't want to get in trouble for none of y'all. But in any event, the issue that we have
Here your ass
years later.
Here you go.
25 years is still sprung, guilty as charged. But in any event, what's old is what's new here. There's an irony here that this law that goes back to after the Civil War, around Reconstruction, et cetera, seems to really fit the bill in Republicans' minds now in 2023. How is it that this law would actually be relevant? I mean, back up to go back forward. Undo this law and do something different. Call it something different. Fake the funk. Make it like it's actually, oh, no, this is a different time. This is when we passed. We agree that we're not in the 19th century anymore. And all this. Get rid of the old one and come back. Unless, of course, we can be pragmatic because it fits what we want to do now. So to Robert's point, you have this crazy hypocrisy where they want to read things. They're strict constructionists when they get ready in the Constitution. They're activists when they get ready. They are super pragmatic. They absolutely think on their feet. That's why the same 14th Amendment will apply and to help them, but not to undo or to help Black folks as it pertains to continuing to vote, Black and brown folks. So, it's amazing that this irony that something that is so old, so draconian, and so, dare I say, traditional, seems to be fitting the bill today. So it just speaks very, very loudly to where they are. And the problem is the good people, the good Republicans, God bless them. I might live around some of them. The good ones, though, they aren't standing up. They aren't saying anything about that. Okay, this is the Constitution. This is what it means. And therefore, that means Donald Trump can't run for president. Lawrence Tribe and the other one, conservative judge, they're talking about that, laying that out. But they're not hearing that because they hear what they want to hear.
Man, look, go ahead, Robert.
Look, I also find it hilarious that these same people who will say, well, slavery was so long ago, at the 1800s, we can't really understand anything that happened back then, and that doesn't apply to today. And why do you guys always have to reach back and play the victim card from something that happened 150 years ago? Then on the exact other hand, they will say, well, we need these laws from the 1800s to keep y'all Negroes from voting. Somehow that's not too far, not too long ago. That's not so distant in the ancient times that can still be relevant today. So laws from the 1890s that help them, that is completely okay. But paying reparations for something that ended in the 1860s, that's just out of the question.
Well, again, they are showing us exactly who they are. That has not changed. All right, y'all, hold tight 1 second. We come back, we're going to talk about this case out of Wisconsin, where, again, they've been rigging the elections there, and now they're mad because, guess what? They lost the Supreme Court in Wisconsin. Hey, I'll explain next. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around Black women, Black women's bodies, even Black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole-Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, have you ever had that $1 million idea and wondered how you could make it a reality? On the next Get Wealthy, you're going to meet Liska Askalise, the inventress, someone who made her own idea a reality and now is showing others how they can do it too.
Positive, focusing in on the thing that you want to do, writing it down, and not speaking to naysayers or anybody about your product until you've taken some steps to at least execute.
Liska Askalise on the next Get Wealthy, right here, only on Black Star Network.
I am Tommy Davidson. I play Oscar on Proud Family, Louder and Prouder.
Right now, I'm rolling with Roland Martin, unfiltered, uncut, unplugged, and undamn believable. You hear me?
Wisconsin Republicans, they have no shame. They want new state Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasiewicz, was recently elected, y'all, to recuse herself from lawsuits challenging GOP-drawn electoral maps. Yeah. Republicans in the legislature believe Protasiewicz's involvement in the case would violate their constitutional due process rights because, y'all, I want y'all, I'm literally not lying right here. They literally say if she's involved, it is going to violate their constitutional due process rights because Democrats would benefit from redrawing the maps. Yeah, seriously. Should she refuse to recuse herself, the Republican Assembly Speaker, Robin Vos, says they might impeach her. If the GOP chooses to impeach the newly appointed Supreme Court Justice, it will require a 2/3 majority in the state Senate, currently controlled by Republicans. Protasiewicz, who won the election in April, has not committed to recusing herself from the case. Okay, so this is where I'm confused, Joe. She's elected. Now, mind you, they have had Republican Supreme Court justices who have affirmed and reaffirmed their rights to penalize Democrats in the state by drawing rigged districts. And now they're saying, oh, if this Democrat justice who just won and now tips the court in favor of Democrats, if she's involved in the case, oh, that's going to hurt us. What the hell?
Well, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do everything we can to keep you from getting elected. We will make sure felons can't vote even after they're done with their time, even after they're off paper. We will disenfranchise folks or whatever else. We had a bad governor, Scott Walker. We tried to keep him around, but that didn't end up working out. But you know, listen, we on momentum. We coming back. And if we can't keep you from getting elected, we're committed to keep you from getting elected. But if we can't keep you from getting elected, Madam Supreme Court Justice, who's a Democrat and didn't tell you how she would rule on a redistricting case, then we'll see that you recuse yourself because it's your duty to do that, because there's a potential that you're going to rule in a way that's not going to favor us. And if you don't recuse yourself, then what we'll do is we'll look at impeaching you, because it's obviously wrong that you don't recuse yourself, because our attempts to keep you from getting elected were not successful. Ridiculous.
I'm just laughing, Rebecca, at the hypocrisy of how dare you rule against us. So if you rule for them, oh, you're depriving us of due process. But when our judges rule for us, damn the due process of the Democrats.
So we say this all the time on this show. Voting elections have consequences, and this is the case in Wisconsin. This was literally one of the top voting issues for voters when they walked into the voting booths in April. It was around this very issue with what happens with this type of case. What happens if this case is reheard under a new Wisconsin Supreme Court? Both candidates talked about this. They talked about this in debates. They talked about this in the press. They talked about this during events. So it wasn't like this was anything new. Like, the voters in Wisconsin understood this was a key issue that was on the line, and it's one of the reasons why they voted the way they did. The same thing happened in North Carolina. North Carolina decided to rehear their extreme voter ID law, as well as a very extreme gerrymandering that was rooted in racial discrimination. That happened in North Carolina, but then a conservative majority came in They reheard the cases, and now they're enacting very stringent voter ID in North Carolina. So the hypocrisy here is very clear. Bottom line, voters knew this was an issue. They voted on it. And now the Republicans in Wisconsin should allow the judge to be able to judge. She was literally elected to do her job. So I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but it's very hypocritical that they now don't want to judge the judge.
People to understand, Robert, when I say they are about using power, they literally are saying, if you dare hear this case, we are going to impeach you.
You know, I've been talking about this slow-moving fascist coup that's been taking place the last several years for conservatives. We see in the North Carolina where they're trying to overrule the governor there. We've seen this in redistricting cases nationwide. We see in Tennessee with the 2 black legislators who were thrown out of office for speaking up. We see this around the country. The Republicans understand math. They understand math and demographics very clearly.
Hold up, Robert, hold up. They threw mothers out of yesterday's committee hearing who were simply holding up signs.
Exactly. They understand math in such a way that they understand they lost the 2020 election by 8 million votes. They lost the 2016 election by 3 to 4 million votes. They haven't won the popular vote since 2004 in a national election. That's the only time they've won the popular vote since 1988 in a popular election. The Democratic senators represent something like 40 million more voters than the 49 Republican senators. The Democrats have about a 5 million vote majority in the House of Representatives. So we talk about the numbers of people represented. They know they cannot win on the numbers. So what do you do? As most Def said, they start keeping pace, you start switching up the tempo. They've realized they have to use every judicial means possible in order to go around the will of the people. Instead of trying to get more people to support them, they're just figuring out how to control things from a minority position. We saw this with Mitch McConnell stealing a Supreme Court justice seat from Merrick Garland. We were seeing this around the country with voter suppression laws being put in place. They are governing from the judiciary. They are governing from the referee position as opposed to being combative. And as long as Democrats keep trying to say, well, you're being hypocrites, you're not allowed to do that. They don't give a damn about being hypocrites. They don't give a damn about what they're allowed to do. They don't give a damn about how they look to the public. This is about raw power and survival. And if you're fighting against an animal that's trying to survive and you're just trying to score points, you're always going to lose. So it's time for Democrats to understand what exactly is going on and be ready to fight back with the full strength of what you have, because they're throwing everything at the wall.
Yep, and they do not care. And so people just need to understand what is here at stake. All right, folks, a little bit later, we're going to talk about what's happening in Georgia, where several of the people who indicted along with Donald Trump turned themselves in. Oh, we got the mugshots to show you. Can't wait till you see the mean mugging of Rudy Giuliani. Can't wait to show you that. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about a new project from a new member of the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, Marc Spears. That is coming up next right here in Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, y'all. We want to easily hit more than 1,000 likes, so hit the like button. Same thing if you're on the Black Star Network app. Speaking of the app, be sure to download the Black Star Network app if you don't have it. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. You can also support us. Your dollars are critically important for us to cover the stories that matter. Send your check and money orders to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 20037-0196. Cash out, $RM Unfiltered. PayPal, R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And be sure to get a copy of my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds, available at bookstores nationwide. You can get it, of course, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Target. Get it from Amazon. Download the audio version on Audible. I'll be right back.
Hatred on the streets, a horrific scene, a white nationalist rally that descended into deadly violence.
White people are losing their damn minds.
as an angry pro-Trump mob storms the U.S. Capitol.
We're about to see the rise of what I call white minority resistance. We have seen white folks in this country who simply cannot tolerate black folks voting.
I think what we're seeing is the inevitable result of violent denial.
This is part of American history. Every time that people of color have made progress, whether real or symbolic, there has been what Carol Anderson at Emory University calls white rage as a backlash.
This is the rise of the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys. America, there's going to be more of this.
Here's all the Proud Boys, guys.
This country is getting increasingly racist in its behaviors and its attitudes because of the fear of white people.
The fear that they're taking our jobs, they're taking our resources, they're taking our women. This is white fear.
I'm Faraji Muhammad, live from LA. And this is The Culture. The Culture is a two-way conversation. You and me. We talk about the stories, politics, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So join our community every day at 3 p.m. Eastern and let your voice be heard. Hey, we're all in this together. So let's talk about it and see what kind of trouble we can get into. It's The Culture, weekdays at 3, only on the Black Star Network.
Farquhar, executive producer of Proud Family.
Bruce Smith, creator and executive producer of The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. And you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, a couple weeks ago, Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, and others were inducted into the Professional Basketball Hall of Fame. Well, many people did not realize they also honored journalists, and one of them has spent more than 20 years covering the NBA, Marc Spears. He was awarded the Kurt Gowdy Print Media Award. Here is some of that presentation. Roll it. Oh, dadgummit, we don't have the sound? All right, hold on. I gotta find some of that, so I gotta show a little bit. Now, Marc is a senior writer for Anscape, a media platform focused on elevating the voices and stories of black athletes and others. It was owned by Disney. He's made a significant impact in the realm of sports journalism. His groundbreaking coverage of the NBA includes in-depth stories that shed light on the challenges and triumphs of black players, both on and off the court. Before his tenure at Anscape, he was at Yahoo Sports from 2009 to 2016, and before that, covered the Denver Nuggets for the Denver Post, as well as later covering the Boston Celtics. So Marc joins us right now. Marc, what's going on?
Hey, man, first of all, I got to give you your flowers, brother. You are a sensational journalist. In a lot of ways, I write about things in sports that people don't want to talk about, but you're doing this about politics. You're doing this about America. You're doing this about the world. And I don't know where we as African Americans would be without a Roland Martin. So what you're doing daily, man, is groundbreaking. It's sensational. It's giving us a voice. It's giving the voiceless a voice, man. So I love you, and just thank you for your journalism and everything that you do.
Well, my brother, I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure seeing you at NABJ.
And you're a good dancer, man. And you're a good dancer.
Well, look.
You can get down, bro.
My philosophy: if my legs work, we're gonna use them.
Yes, sir.
You were vetted this year at NABJ Sports Task Force Party. All your fellow sports writers salute you with some champagne. It was great to be there as well. And again, it was all the attention's on the athletes that weekend. But that was a big thing for you to see your name in that Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Roland, I'm one of 4 black journalists that's received the Kurt Gowdy Award for print. That's been going on since 1990. There's actually also an electronic award, which you saw Holly Rowe won. And she's my colleague from ESPN, but there's never been, a black journalist that has won the electronic award. So, to get this award, man, it's just stunning to me. I've been covering NBA since 99. I've been covering basketball for 28 years now, even on a high level with college. And So I think a lot of what I do is similar to what you do. Writing for Anscape, we write about race and culture and sports. And so people have said that my stories have helped, bring highlights to the lack of Black coaches, the lack of Black general managers, the lack of Black women or just women in general in the NBA and the LGBTQ plus community, like Africans in basketball, like bringing lights to things that, typically aren't talked about. And I believe I've been told that my stories have made a change. So for me to get into this hall, like I'm a college basketball kid, had a piddly college basketball career, man, playing at UDC and walking on at San Jose State and all that. And to get into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame without dribbling in one NBA game or scoring a point and allowing my mom to go to Springfield and see where my name is going to be forever, man, I don't know if it gets any better than that.
Folks always obviously make a big deal about those who are on the court, but the reality is when it comes to those who do the reporting, that also matters as well, the framing, if you will. And the thing that people don't realize is that, sports is in many ways, it's sort of like politics. Look, you got to be able to get people to trust you. And it's a lot. It's a lot of Black ball players for years did not trust sports writers. And what people also don't realize is the battle to get Black coaches, to get Blacks in management is also in the press box, because for a long time, even when it came to football and basketball, it was lily white.
Yes. Yeah. And the league is 75% Black, probably even more now. So about 5 years ago, it was quite embarrassing, actually, when you saw the number of coaches, a number of front office. And so I wrote heavily about that, met with Adam Silver about that. I've been told that some of those stories have certainly made change, but, it's not over. When you see Michael Jordan sell the Charlotte Hornets, like who he bought from Bob Johnson, who I believe gave him a discount to keep Black ownership in this predominantly Black NBA. Now, with Jordan selling the majority of his power on the Charlotte Hornets, there's no Black owners in the league, man. None. Like no Black majority owners in the NBA that's predominantly Black. That's sad and that's scary. And now with the price of these teams going up, there's the belief that there'll be 2 expansion teams. I'm thinking this is going to be somewhere in the $3 to $5 billion range in which these teams are purchased. And, I'm not going to say that we're getting priced out, because I'm not going to put those boundaries on us, right? But I think that's the next big thing that has to happen for African Americans in the NBA, is figure out a way to have some kind of impact on ownership.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right on that point. It is about being able to own, being able to control. And again, you use the word power when you talk about owning. People always talked about, Michael Jordan was the most powerful player. I kept saying, no. Michael Jordan had leverage and influence. Power is with the owners. And I remind people, even Adam Silver is an employee of the owners.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he can't tell, like, we could beat up Adam Silver all we want, but he doesn't own the teams. I mean, when you look at what happened with the Suns and who they sold the team to, Robert Sarver, who basically is banished from the NBA and basketball, same with Donald Sterling. Like, I would have loved for one of those 2 teams to have Black ownership, but ultimately it was those same people that, hey, it's their, I guess, property, so to speak. So they determine who ends up buying it. And like always, we're the ones that get shunned.
You've covered a lot of athletes. I'm laughing because this latest drama, we've seen the people photo right there of you and Steph Curry. I'll go ahead and show y'all. I'm laughing. It was right before that one.
Young Steph, baby. That's
right.
Baby Steph.
That was baby Steph. I'm cracking up laughing because it's like all the people going back and forth right now. Who was a better point guard, Steph or Magic Johnson? I get a kick out of those conversations. Frankly, I think many of them are useless. But Before I go to
Repeat that. I
said,
I might get in trouble with my network for agreeing with that.
No, I just think a lot of those conversations are useless because you can't compare eras. You just simply can't.
Yeah.
You can't compare an era of Michael Jordan talking about how they took hard fouls and guys today, you can't touch them. You can't talk about the era of a Bill Russell and Oscar Robertson when they weren't traveling in chartered jets, didn't have the sort of, I mean, you just simply can't. The reality is, I look at people as being great in their era, period. And that's sort of just how.
And then beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? To me, I get yelled at because Magic is, to me, the greatest of all time. But you like what you like. There's no really wrong answer, right? It's whoever is your GOAT is the GOAT.
Well, I'll say this here. Whenever you talk about great centers, I'm very clear. It's Wilt Chamberlain, it's Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, and then Akeem Olajuwon. Shaq.
I thought you were going to put Akeem first.
Well, no. I mean, I love Akeem Olajuwon, but again, I can love hometown, but I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But let me be real clear. Shaquille O'Neal, you are not afraid. You are not in front of Akeem Olajuwon.
A young prime Shaq is the most powerful force I've ever seen watching basketball.
A young prime Shaq got swept by Olajuwon and the Rockets 4-0.
He wasn't in his prime then.
Okay. Well, guess what? They got swept.
But man, don't get me wrong. I love me some Dream too now.
And I was there waving a broom. I was there waving a broom when they got swept.
And I'm sure you told Big Fella that too already.
And we'll tell him again, Olajuwon over you all day long. Because ask David Roberts about that dream shake. All right, let's go to my panel for questions. Then we're going to talk about this new show you got going on Hulu. Let's see here. I'll start with Joe.
Brother Marc, many, many congratulations on not only what you're doing historically. It's wonderful to get as far as you have in your career and to be acknowledged and to get your flowers that way. My daughter is a young journalist, and so we want that kind of recognition and, frankly, that kind of integrity. In a quick segue, I'm right there with you all day long on Magic Johnson. I was at his first game when I was 7 years old against the Chicago Bulls, lived 12 blocks from the Forum. He could look at 4 people, figure out what was missing, and become that and score 10 points and dominate a game. And he rescued the NBA from bankruptcy. But in any event, wanted to ask quickly about, how you see, I mean, I think you can be objective in your reporting, but subjective about what needs to be reported. And you've done a wonderful job of telling stories that need to be told. Do you, in what it is that you do, see what's coming around the corner and start to lead the way as it pertains to you telling that story? Or is it a combination of that and talking about what's going on in real time, but talk a little bit about how you see the playing field about the stories that need to be told?
Well, first of all, I know you from South Central. I could tell by your accent. I'm a Bay Area kid. I know y'all voice. So,
Guilty.
Yeah.
That's right.
What I try to do, man, and I think it's important for every journalist is try to stay 2 steps ahead of the posse. I sometimes will sit around and try to be creative. I give y'all a little scoop. I got a Damon Lillard exclusive interview that's going to drop tomorrow. Got some time with him in Portland. I got another thing coming this weekend where Roland might ask me to come back. I can't divulge it just yet, but it's quite interesting. But it's what you said. It's about getting relationships and, making the players feel comfortable, letting you get past, the bridge over to their side of the, moat and letting them feel comfortable opening up and knowing that you'll tell your story the best way they can. Chris Paul, he blessed me with an opportunity last year to fly in a private jet with his family to chronicle when he got his degree from Winston-Salem State. And I'll never forget that, 1, because it was just wonderful to capture that, but 2, for him to trust that as a journalist, I'll not only be fair, but he could trust me in front of his family to write this story and not put them in a bad light. And so, those opportunities like that come here and there, like Damon Lillard wanting to talk to me, or Jaylen Brown saying, hey, I want you to break that. I got this major multi-million-dollar richest deal in NBA history. like it's those things that, really make me feel proud as a journalist to get that kind of access.
Rebecca.
Congratulations, Marc. So there's been a lot of
Thank you.
changes in sports media. In fact, we have Stephen A. Smith podcasting now. We have Jamil Hill, Marcellus Wiley also podcasting. Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast just got a new home today. What do you see as the future of Black sports media?
Like the podcasts are amazing. I listen to Ryan Clark a lot. The Pivot is outstanding. But, I get away from sports sometimes and I listen to Questlove Supreme and listen to some music stuff and listen to what he has to say. So I do think that with podcasts now, it's just so, there's just so much traffic. How do you differentiate yourself from everybody else? And in terms of the future, like streaming is incredible. Like you're hearing what Apple's trying to do and Amazon's trying to do. And, obviously what ESPN is doing with ESPN Plus. And so from a sports standpoint, there's kind of like an arms race going on in terms of, hey, we need to get the NBA, we need to get more NFL, we need to get figure out what to do with the falling apart of the Pac-12. And so I'm really curious to see how streaming of sports go in the future. And now it's to the point now where, everything is going to be watched on the phone, but I'm still that old school TV guy. I'd rather watch the game on TV.
Robert.
Marc, just congratulations on everything. And a couple of things. One, Steph Curry is a two-guard. I want everybody to understand that. Draymond runs the point on that team. Draymond has always run the point on that team. Steph Curry's going out there to score 40. He is not going out there to set up anybody. Oscar Robinson also has entered the chat on this best point guard discussion, and that's neither here nor there. One thing I've noticed from following Kyrie and Harden and some other players is this criticism of the kind of establishment media when it comes to taking the player's side in many of these discussions. James Harden has articulated that he was lied to by Daryl Morey, cost maybe $100 million because of trusting what Daryl Morey said to him, but yet it's still when Woj reports on it, he says disgruntled James Harden, and Kyrie went back at him. What do you think the role is of Black journalists when it comes to getting the stories out of players as opposed to simply taking the sides of ownership in order to be a quote-unquote insider when you're really just getting out the propaganda that the ownership is trying to get against the players?
Well, hey,
before Marc answers,
messing with you real quick.
Go ahead, Marc. Go ahead, Marc. Go ahead.
No, I said one thing I laugh about Black journalists, they always got to give a comment before they give a question.
There you go.
We've had a lot of that at NABJ, man. Black folks can't just ask a question. They gotta get their hot take in first.
Right.
But I love it. You guys are versatile. I love this. I think for Kyrie, it's really, really tough because I think that he feels misunderstood and he has to also do a better job of making sure he's understood. And, hey, Kyrie, I'm talking to you, man. I want to tell your story. Come find me. I know Kai. We talked a little bit in Vegas and hopefully I'll get some time with him. But, now these players, have the opportunity to tell their own stories, whether it's on social media or whether it's through different documentaries and stuff like that. And, James Harden with what he's doing, I don't know if a black, white, green media could figure out how to tell his side the right way right now. It's really jumbled up. But I'm going to be a fair journalist, but I'm also going to have an ear, I think, that certainly is close to the streets, but also can listen to a CEO. And that's, I think that's why a lot of the players trust me, because I think they feel like I can tell their story the right way. And so hopefully I'll get that scoop from Kai.
But the players also have to understand that Black journalists are not stenographers. No. And that is, let me be real clear, it's some bullshit that comes from players, just like Black politicians and others. And that's why I say fair. Right. I think I had an opportunity or got talked to about talking to Kyrie before he started playing last season again, but I think they realized that I was going to do a fair story and not throw softballs at him either. I mean, I think
it's tough as a journalist. Like interviewing Damian Lillard, like I had to ask him about asking for a trade. Now, whether he, Roland, knows this, like whether he answers it or not, I still have to ask.
That's right.
I got to ask him what's the straw that broke the camel's back. And so it was certainly a very difficult interview to get with him because he could get fined. He could understandably get fined a lot of money. And I think under normal circumstances, he probably would have spoken. But it's I think at the end of the day, the only thing we could promise is being fair.
That's it. Look, my motto has been the same my entire career. If you do good, I'm going to talk about you. If you do bad, I'm going to talk about you. At the end of the day, I'm going to talk about you. And I'm going to say, Robert, to your question about James Harden, look, his ass wanted out of Houston. Daryl Morey was there. He got out of Houston and destroyed that franchise, set it back tremendously. Then he went to Brooklyn, didn't win there. Then he went to Philly. Now he mad because he can't get out of Philly. So at some point, a grown-ass man needs to accept his own damn role in all of this deal. Because guess what? This ain't Burger King. You can't always have it your way.
No question. And it's going to be tough for him now because now if you're a new team, why would you trust that he's going to be happy with you? As you mentioned, Roland, it's gone bad in Houston. It's gone bad in Brooklyn. It's gone bad in Philly. So why should the Clippers think that all of a sudden he's going to come back home, put on this different uniform, and things are going to change? So I think therein lies a problem. And you guys saw this with Allen Iverson. I remember there was 2 weeks he played for the Grizzlies. Do you guys even remember that?
Oh, I remember that. And he was mad.
He never played a home game in Memphis. And I think at that time, if he would have been okay with coming off the bench, I think he would have been sixth man of the year. He just wasn't okay with it, said some things that made practice look like nothing that people forget about the coach and about Mike Conley. And this is my boy, and I love him. But, he's an honest guy. And those things ended up getting them kicked out of Memphis. But when you're later in your career, they'll tolerate less. When Iverson was 22, when James Harden was 22, doing what they're doing, they, turn an eye. But now it's different. So I don't know if he's going to get the landing spot that he wants or have a landing spot.
Well, it's just like John Wall. John Wall, he said all kind of stuff. Look, John Wall didn't want to come off the bench in Houston. And he felt he was better than a whole bunch of people, but we got a bunch of young players as well. And guess what? He got traded to the Clippers. They traded him back to the Rockets. Where he at right now?
Yeah. And I have to say that, like, your pronunciation of Morey, I know you're from the South. You got some Louisiana ties.
Morey.
You made him Creole.
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey. I watched. Matter of fact, I was look when he was GM of the Rockets. I watched a couple of games with him, and it was so funny because he was sitting here like shoot three. I was sitting like, no, take it to the basket, man. My deal is you keep missing threes. Damn it, drive the ball to the hole. But he was all analytics. It was hilarious. Me and him sitting next to each other.
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey. First of all, so what's the real pronunciation?
No, I'm going with that.
Right, we going with that, Morey. So we go. It's like Daryl Morey. That's how we do it.
Daryl Morey. From now on.
That's it, Daryl Morey. So Marc, tell us about this Hulu show.
Man, it's amazing. Like I would have won to get into the Hall of Fame this month, and now we're coming up with a show on Hulu called The Conversations Project, which is out of my box. There's nothing to do with sports. Basically, what it is, it's a Black iron sharpens iron television show with myself. As you see, Elaine Welteroth from Project Runway and former editor of Teen Vogue, and Chef David Lawrence, who we call him Uncle Idris. I think you guys are going to fall in love with him. But basically what we're doing is Chef, every episode, he conjures up a meal that is also like a appetizer and a first course, a main course, and a dessert. But with each course is a conversation. It's a different topic. And it gets deep, man. It gets emotional. We talk about race. We talk about politics. We talk about sugar on your grits and not sugar on your grits.
You damn right. Team sugar on grits.
I'm with you, brother. That's the right way. And so that's the conversations will make you cry. They'll make you laugh. They'll make you think. And although these conversations that include Roy Wood Jr. and Shine and Atari Naughton and Roxanne Shante and Salma Thomas and Jim Jones through the course of 6 episodes it's an all-black table. We need white people to watch. We need brown people to watch. We need Asians to watch. We need everybody to watch because I think they need to learn more about us and who we are. And this show, it reminds me of, I was inspired by Love Jones. I was inspired by Mo Better Blues. I was inspired by Boomerang, shows where you see educated Black people doing great things, getting time together, breaking bread together. And Roland, you know this, when we sit down and have a conversation, there's some depth to these conversations. And so I don't think America sees us in this light or has seen us in this light. And it's always, we're selling drugs, or it's a sports, hoop dreams thing, or we're throwing a drink at each other. No, this is some dope Black people getting together, having deep conversations. And by the end of the conversation, you're going to be wishing that you had that great food. And we highlight a Black winery every episode as well, that you're sitting there having dinner with us. And I guarantee you in the end, you're going to learn something deep about the Black culture and Black people.
All right, then. So it premieres when on Hulu?
On Monday. Monday, all 6 episodes come out. Check them out. I'm super excited about this. And eventually it'll even be on internationally on Disney+. So me and Elaine on Chef David, we're debuting it. They're debuting it tomorrow night in New York City. A lot of the folks will be here. But this basically started from me and Chef David being in Sonoma, watching soccer, drinking wine. I get a call from Maria Taylor. I don't even know if she knows this story. And she said, hey, me and my husband are coming up to Napa Valley. We're all Bay Area people, the 3 hosts. Where should I go? What should we do? So David and I thought about it, and we're like, you know what? We need to get a TV show out of this. We ended up doing a pilot with Clippers guard Terrence Mann. Shout out to him, which ended up being a beautiful roundtable dinner with the likes of Brian Shaw and Chef Nikki Shaw and W. Kamau Bell and Brene Royale, a Black woman who's huge in the wine industry. And we did the pilot, and Hulu said we like the dinner. We want to do the dinner. And so here we are, man. Roland, I got a TV show, man. And it ain't sports. Can you believe that?
There you go. Well, look, y'all, we got to watch so that could be a season 2 so I can roll up in there so we can have some gumbo.
I need our people to watch this, man. I really do. Because I think they'll love it. And then Roland gonna be like, "Why? What show am I coming on next season?"
Hey, look, I want there to be more seasons, and I'm already put my request in for the chef to do some gumbo. Let's see what them Bay Area people do gumbo a little different.
But I'm Creole too, Hoss.
Me and Danny Glover been having this argument for about 20 years.
I got some gumbo in the Bay. We'll get. My family, New Orleans roots. So
well, first of all, a lot of people don't know about the Creole migration that took place in the 30s and 40s. And they left Louisiana and they stopped all through Beaumont, Bear Station, Crosby, Houston, and it wasn't nothing between Houston and the Bay Area and LA, nothing. So it's like you ain't gonna find no Creole people in El Paso or New Mexico. It was either Houston or they stopped in the Bay Area in Los Angeles. So,
yes,
folks, check it out.
We out
there. And what you said, sugar on grits. Rebecca's about to break her neck saying no. Robert,
that's blasphemy. That's porridge.
Hey, we don't give.
Like my great grandma, honey, who's from South Louisiana, is turning in her grave. Like porridge. That's
okay.
That is violent.
Okay, keep turning. Keep turning.
Roland, who is waking up in the morning to work a long day in the fields with a bunch of sugar on their stomach? No, it is salt, it is shrimp, it is catfish, it's bacon, it's cheese, it's gravy.
Right?
You ain't about to have no big
Can we have it either way? Can we have it either way?
No. It's either or.
Hey, it's like the GOAT conversation. There ain't no wrong answer, but there is a wrong answer here.
Black crime to put sugar on your grits.
All I'm saying right now, if all of y'all who are opposed to sugar on grits, in the words of Della Reese from Harlem Nights, kiss my entire ass.
You and your sugar grits.
Team sugar on grits. I do not care. Marc Spears, congratulations. Y'all, this is a photo right here, Marc, showing his name on the wall, the Hall of Fame right there, and flashing his Hall of Fame ring as well. Marc, I appreciate it. Good luck on the show. We'll check it out, my brother.
Love you, man. Thank you, guys.
And y'all, I don't know how many black people Marc had hit me. Y'all, let me explain something. I'll pull Marc back up. Let me explain something, y'all. So Marc hit me, y'all. Marc texted me about coming on the show. Then Rashawn Ali gonna hit me up saying, hey, Marc trying to get your number. I'm like, he already got my number. We've been texting. He would have had my damn number for about 20 years. So then there's a brother in so I go by LA celebrity game on Saturday.
Oh, my boy, Big Mouth Jeff.
Yo, he refereeing the game. Hey, man, I need to get your number. I need to get Marc Spears on your show. I was like, stay, dog, me and Marc, I said, he coming on this week.
But that's love, though. That's love, though, man. That's love. And that's respect for you.
I know that, but it was like, Marc was like, yo, everybody hit Roland to book me on the show. I was like,
I ain't said nothing to them. But that's respect for you. They wanted me on your show, and here I am.
It was hilarious.
I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed.
Oh,
that's
yeah, it was hilarious.
You,
they were like, yeah.
Take them flowers. That's love for you, man.
It was funny. Rashawn was like, hey.
People wanted me on your show, me included.
It was
and I made it.
Marc, I was cracking up. Rashawn was like, hey, Marc looking for your number. I said, girl, I text Marc every NABJ. I was messing with it. Appreciate it, my brother. Good luck, and we'll look forward to the Damien Lillard piece. Again,
all right.
Again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Support Marc Spears' show on Hulu. We will check it out when it drops on Monday. Gotta go. We come back. Roland Martin Unfiltered. We're gonna talk baseball coach in Georgia. Wait till you hear what he said to this black ball player about his locks. You want to hear some bullshit? This is why the Crown Act should be a federal law. That's next on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Plus, we're going to recap 10th annual Ced The Entertainer Golf Classic in Cabo. And Steve Harvey said he wants some of this. Steve, you don't want none of Uncle Roro. I'll be right back.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us.
We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it.
This is about covering us.
Invest in black-owned media.
Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks.
We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible.
Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is RMartin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is roland@rolandsmartin.com.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, have you ever had that $1 million idea and wondered how you could make it a reality? On the next Get Wealthy, you're going to meet Liska Askalise, the inventress, someone who made her own idea a reality and now is showing others how they can do it too.
Positive, focusing in on the thing that you want to do, writing it down, and not speaking to naysayers or anybody about your product until you've taken some steps to at least execute.
Liska Askalise on the next Get Wealthy, right here, only on Black Star Network.
You go into a barbershop in a 700 credit score neighborhood, black or white, they're talking about their ideas and they're talking about how they're going to move on those things. You go to a barbershop in a 500 credit score, equal brilliance, but bad culture, they're talking about other people. You go to a winner's barbershop, here's what I'm doing. You go to the barbershop of where people feel defeated, they talk about other people, either celebrities or people they admire, but also often, I don't like Joe. I don't like Roland Martin. Well, let me tell you something. I don't understand people. How could you not like anything here you see. You should just be like, this is amazing. It's cool. You may not even like how he does it or how I do it, but it's like, you know what? They're succeeding. They're killing it. All you should be is, that's fantastic. But if I don't like me, I'm not gonna like you. If I don't feel good about me, it's hard for me to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And here's the big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
This is Essence Atkins.
Mr. Love King of R&B, Raheem Devon.
It's me, Sherry Shepherd, and you know what you watch.
You're watching Roland Martin, Unfiltered.
Months after the Georgia State Senate failed to pass the Crown Act for the second time, a Georgia baseball coach is accused of hair discrimination. A leaked recording from what appears to be a black Valdosta State University baseball player allegedly exposes the head coach saying the player cannot play because of his locks. Listen.
You had an attitude. I never gave you any attitude about my hair. Every time you said something, I was, yes, sir, and I tried to comply with it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. If you'd have complied with what I said, you'd got your hair cut, and I wouldn't have had to keep talking to you about it.
The rule was have your hair under a certain length.
Which you never did.
That is not. I never have. So my hair was always out of regular.
Yes.
Even when I had it up, and it wasn't hanging down.
Look, I will say this, okay, in all fairness to you, okay, I will say this. Here's where I fail, okay? Here's where I failed. What I should have done in the very beginning, and I didn't do it, and this is my fault, and I could see how it gave you the wrong impression. So I'm not going to totally blame you, because it takes two with everything, okay? What I should have said in the beginning was, this is what you got to do with your hair. And then once you do that, then I'll let you come out there. Okay, and I didn't do that. Again, this was my fault. Okay.
I mean, it also kind of discrepancies when there's other guys on the team.
We're not talking about other guys. I told you before on the phone, we're not going down that route. Why would I go down that route again?
I'm just saying, like, this is stuff that people is telling me.
I don't care what anyone else says. This is between you and me. I'm the head coach, okay? It doesn't matter what any other player says. It doesn't matter. So again, why would I want you back on the team when we're right back having the same conversation again?
I don't know why we're having this conversation. My hair is cut. I don't know why we're having this conversation.
It's not short enough to be on the baseball team.
My hair is not short enough to be on the team?
Yeah.
Right now?
No.
How is that possible?
No.
How is that possible?
I'm the one that sets rules. I can set whatever rule I want.
These rules, how is that possible though? I bet you $1 million is somebody on the team that has longer hair.
I don't care about anybody else on the team, okay? I don't care about anyone. We're not talking about anybody else on the team. I don't know why you can't get that through your head. Okay?
I want to be treated just like everybody else. What do you mean?
If you want to be treated like everybody else, then follow the rules I give you.
I'm following the rules.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
How am I not following the
All right, y'all, so what I'm doing right now, I want to show you who this Valdosta State baseball coach is. He said, if you heard the actual, you heard the video there, and he actually said, look, I'm the head coach. Well, this is the head coach. His name is Greg Gillums. This is Greg's phone number and email right there as well. And so he is the head baseball coach. He's a 26-year veteran. He's been with the program since 2008. And so this is him right here. You see him now. This was recorded by the player. The player, y'all, is his information. He's also out there as well. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up for you who he is. And because, again, he used to play at Jackson State. He transferred to Valdosta State. And again, so this is the brother right here, Asher Akerich. And again, this video was posted to TikTok on the player's account. That's where it was posted. And so that's who this brother is. This story has gotten a lot of attention all around the country. Different stories have been done. I mean, and so this is his, this is the TikTok page right there. You see Asher. You see it right there. This is his page. It was posted on his page right here on TikTok. Look, here's the whole deal, folks. And Rebecca, this is why the Crown Act is so important. This has nothing to do with playing baseball. Now, people need to understand, baseball is one of those ridiculous as sports. For instance, the New York Yankees, they have a ban, they've had a long time ban on facial hair. They allow mustaches, but for George Steinbrenner's whole deal is, I want clean-cut players. Players have actually had to cut their hair. The Cincinnati Reds, for a long time, had a ban on the exact same thing. And so this has been something that these white owners have used. And again, they've stopped white players from having beards as well. I was reading a story last week about that, about this whole deal here. But I'm sorry, who the hell are you to tell a player he needs to cut his hair just to play baseball?
You know, Roland, I often talk about my home state of Nebraska. There's only 93,000 people in Nebraska. But a couple years ago, the very conservative Nebraska legislature was able to pass the Crown Act. And it's now legal to discriminate based upon hair in my home state of Nebraska. Like, I can even relate to this. Like, all my career, I've always been told how I should or should not wear my hair. I've had a relaxer for so many years, and we now know the links to cancer by using certain chemicals in our hair. And, there's even linkages with mortality, maternal mortality rates with African-American women and other women who use chemicals in their hair as well. So what we're hearing at Valdosta State is we're hearing discrimination. And yes, it's rooted in racial discrimination. It is not a prerequisite in baseball where you can't have locks and still be able to perform in the field of play. And that's something that we really need to focus on here. This isn't about clean cut. It's about what works and what doesn't work in the field of play and not anything else. I would tell that young brother, you know what, go enter that portal and you transfer back to Jackson State, or you go down to FAMU or maybe A&T. There are plenty of HBCUs with competitive.
Well, he transferred from Jackson State, but here's the whole deal. This is where you go, hell no, Joe. I'm gonna ask my other ball players stand with me and say none of us are playing if I got to cut my hair.
Yeah, I mean, solidarity would be a good thing right now. I mean, it's amazing how much we're hearing about this. I mean, and the Crown Act does need to be national. There were even premonitions of this before Northwestern's thing a couple months ago, 4 years ago, when Julia was a cheerleader first year. They were talking about the hair stuff even then. And not long after that, they started getting sued, partially on racial things. So, yeah, this is an issue. And, by the way, go back to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, go back to Jim Brown, go back to Muhammad Ali. Sports is often the battleground for some of the stands that are made related to civil rights. And this is an opportunity that way. It's a difficult moment for the young brother, but I hope that he can find solidarity with the people that he is engaging in sport with. He's somebody that's true to the sport. He's working hard. He's good enough to do it in college, the college level. And I thought it was interesting that the coach didn't want to talk about any of the other people, probably because he couldn't explain the inequity that comes through the fact that he obviously looks at him and sees something different than the next person. Sounds like to me the young brother has been compliant, willfully so, based on what it is that he's supposed to do. And his hair is what it's supposed to be, even by his rules, which might not, should be a rule. If that's a term, you can go with me on there. So hopefully he finds that solidarity with those players and takes that stand and gets this lesson. Sometimes, we get called out of necessity to very, very difficult moments, but he can rise up, and hopefully some folks will rise up with him, and we can let the coach know that it's just not going to be this way.
Hey, Robert, here's a story here. Since 73, the Yankees have had that policy. George Steinbrenner saw his players in 73 during the national anthem, felt their hair was too long for his standards. And so here's the deal. The Yankees rule, no male player, coach, or even executive may wear any facial hair except for a mustache. They could grow sideburns or mutton chops. The player's hair was not allowed to be worn below the collar. It still stands today. The Cincinnati Reds, and there have been some players, and in fact, I saw one story where there are some players that actually said, don't ever trade me to the Yankees because I ain't cut my damn hair. If I'm this kid at Valdosta State, you know what I do? I sue. And I then go, does the band have a hair? Does the band have a hair rule? Do other teams have a hair rule? How does this coach get to apply? This has nothing to do with uniform. How does this coach get to apply a hair standard if there's no university-wide hair standard? Robert, do you see this kid having a case?
I can see him having a case. And also, as you said, if he can find solidarity with other players, if he could show that there are white players who were similarly situated who had longer hair that wasn't locked, who weren't reprimanded or disciplined, I think he absolutely can. If you have other players who are willing to join you, you might have a class action suit that you could bring against the school and against indeed the university system of Georgia for racial discrimination. If you can, and then the best thing is once you do that, you can get into discovery. And like we saw with John Gruden in the NFL, you always find those emails and those text messages that happen to be floating around that just so happen to tell how these people really feel. And I think that's an important step to take because the people only learn by losing money. That's just generally the way things work in this country. You either need to lose money or go to jail, and that's what changes activity and changes actions. And for this young man, I think that we've seen that that this is not costing the university anything unless you sue. Because if you go out there, cut your hair, and play, the better you play, the more money this coach makes because his record is better. He gets to profit off of that, while you as the player have had to debase yourself and change yourself simply because of his antiquated standards. I think that, as you said, get some players together. I know some great South Georgia civil defense lawyers and civil rights lawyers. It'd be more than easy to mount up and have a lawsuit against these people in no time at all. And I'm hoping he takes that step.
According to this story in the Valdosta Daily Times, pull it up, go to my iPad, please. It says that the video first was gotten 30,000 likes, 5,200 comments as well. It says the player believed to be at the center of the controversy with the coach over his hair is not listed for VSU's baseball roster for 2023 or 2024. But is listed in official box scores posted by the university to its athletics website. Baseball Reference does list acreage as only participating in one game in 2023 for VSU. The statement from the university says VSU is aware of this video and is currently reviewing the situation. And so, again, I hope this brother definitely continues to pursue this because it's just BS. It's just absolute BS. All right, y'all, hold tight 1 second. We come back. Got some mug shots for you. Oh, yeah, perp walk for all of the imps of Donald Trump. They all having their moment. And how white of Mark Meadows to be given 2 weeks to turn himself in by Fannie Willis, and then he gonna request more damn time. Yeah, now Fannie had to clap back. I'm gonna show you that as well. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Stud Network. Back in a moment.
Hatred on the streets, a horrific scene, a white nationalist rally that descended into deadly violence.
White people are losing their damn minds. As an angry pro-Trump mob storms the U.S. Capitol, we're about to see the rise of what I call white minority resistance. We have seen white folks in this country who simply cannot tolerate black folks voting.
I think what we're seeing is the inevitable result of violent denial.
This is part of American history. Every time that people of color have made progress, whether real or symbolic, there has been what Carol Anderson at Emory University calls white rage as a backlash.
This is the rise of the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys. America, there's going to be more of this.
Here's all the Proud Boys, guys. This country is getting increasingly racist in its behaviors and its attitudes because of the fear of white people.
The fear that they're taking our jobs, they're taking our resources, they're taking our women. This is white fear.
barbershop in a 700 credit score neighborhood, black or white. They're talking about their ideas and they're talking about how they're going to move on those things. You go to a barbershop at a 500 credit score, equal brilliance, but bad culture, they're talking about other people. You go to a winner's barbershop, here's what I'm doing. You go to the barbershop of where people feel defeated, they talk about other people, either celebrities or people they admire, but also often, I don't like Joe. I don't like Roland Martin. Well, let me tell you something. I don't understand people. How could you not like anything here you see? You should just be like, this is amazing. It's cool. You may not even like how he does it or how I do it, but it's like, you know what? They're succeeding. They're killing it. All you should be is, that's fantastic. But if I don't like me, I'm not going to like you. If I don't feel good about me, it's hard for me to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And here's the big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm going to make your life a living hell.
It's John Murray, the executive producer of the new Sherry Shepherd Talk Show.
This is your boy, Earthquake.
And you're tuned in to
Roland Martin, Unfiltered.
Oh, folks, so far, 8 of the 19 defendants in Georgia's Trump election conspiracy case have surrendered. Rudy Giuliani, Trump's former attorney, faces 13 counts. Here's his mugshot. Boy, no black dye running down his head, huh? He faces 13 counts. His bond was set at $150,000. Scott Hall, a Georgia bail bondsman, faces 7 counts. Let's show Scott. I don't care about the names. I want to see photos. That's right. This here is Scott. He gets 7 counts. He got 10 grand. John Eastman, conservative lawyer, he still actually believes that these charges, that the election was stolen. Well, guess what, John? They're going to snatch your law license and your ass going to jail. He had a $100,000 bond. Kathy Latham, a Republican official, faces 11 counts. Her bond was set at $75,000. She need a tan. Lord have mercy. She looked washed out. David Schaefer, the former chairman of the Republican Party in Georgia, he was pretty happy with his mugshot. His bond was set at $75,000. Yeah, he need a tan too. Kenneth Chesbro, a conservative lawyer who worked with Trump. Yeah, well, he ain't too happy that he facing these issues. And so poor little Kenneth, former Trump attorney, he got charged with 7 counts, bond set at $100,000. Ray Smith III, Trump's re-election campaign lawyer, he's hit with 12 charges. Ooh, Ray looked evil as hell. His bond was set at 50 grand. Trump says he's turning himself in tomorrow. Fulton County DA Fannie Willis is giving them until Friday to surrender to authorities. Now, this is the one that I think is just absolutely hilarious. Marc Meadows. Y'all, this fool literally, look, some folk, now remember, Fannie gave him 2 weeks. Why this boy gonna sit here and gonna ask her, can he get more time to tell himself in? He literally asked a federal judge to block Willis from seeking this arrest if he fails to surrender on Friday. Okay, well, guess what? Fannie had a little something for her. Go to my iPad for his attorney. She said, I am not granting any extensions. I gave 2 weeks for people to surrender themselves to the court. Your client is no different than any other criminal defendant in this jurisdiction. The 2 weeks was a tremendous courtesy. At 12:30 p.m. on Friday, I shall file warrants in the system. My team has availability to meet to discuss reasonable consent bonds Wednesday and Thursday. Yours in service, Fannie T. Willis, District Attorney, Atlanta Judicial Court, Fulton County, Georgia. Robert, she slapped some sugar on grits on them and said, keep trying me, see what happened.
Well, I've tried cases against Fannie before, and this is par for the course. I tried to explain this to some of the people in the Trump orbit. This is not the time where you go on stage, tell a couple of your mama jokes, and then moonwalk off like nothing happened. This is a very serious prosecution. Donald Trump's being prosecuted in the same court. The young thug is being prosecuted on RICO charges right now. The same court the Atlanta cheating scandal took place in, where you had teachers being charged with RICO. Same court where Ray Lewis went to court. So there's a long history of celebrity cases cases, of high-profile cases, and of seeking the utmost penalty in these situations. I do think that what we're going to see is many of these co-defendants are going to be flipping on Donald Trump. I think Mark Meadows' entire point is moving this to federal court so that his testimony against Trump can be used both at the federal and the state level, and he doesn't want to be facing criminal charges and potentially endanger himself on the state level based upon the evidence that he gives on the federal level. So I think that's the point of the Meadows order he put in place. One of the things that I found interesting, having been in that Fulton County jail many times, is the white balance on the camera is made for black people. The reason all the white people look so washed out, they're so used to arresting black folks, doing black folks mug shots in there. They don't even have the camera calibrated for white people to show up, so they barely show up on camera. And for the photo nerds out there, you know that I'm telling the truth, and that's why they're not showing up. So there's some structural changes we need to be making in Fulton County. I know everybody's celebrating that we're locking up all these Trump acolytes right now, but in reality, we have to deal with the overpopulation in the Fulton County jail. We have to deal with the people getting ate to death by bed bugs at the Fulton County jail. We have to deal with the fact that a young lady died in the Fulton County jail recently also, and maybe these Republicans who are so upset about Donald Trump going to jail can make it one of the Cassius Belli there is on death row for the midterm election or for the next election cycle to actually do something about criminal justice reform so we don't have people getting ate by bed bugs, because most of the people going in from those cameras have enough melanin where the white balance actually works out and it doesn't look like a ghost up there.
I don't even know Rebecca want to follow that. Rebecca, go ahead.
Well, first, look, Fonnie Willis is my sorority sister. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I don't expect anything other than excellence from her, and she is showing supreme service to all mankind. What I find really, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about Robert. That damn Fulton County. So here's the thing. I think we're all waiting for the money shot tomorrow when we finally see Fulton County release Donald Trump's mugshot. I definitely expect to see a lot of merch with his face on it over the next week. But it's Fulton County, and yes, let's push for jail and prison reform in Georgia so there's better standards for folks.
Joe.
Yeah, my sense is, Sister Willis, whether you are at the top of the charts or whether you've been president, she's not above prosecuting you, and she's going to bring it, and she's going to bring all of it. And so, this is not something that you're going to style and profile and go on Fox News and get out of. She's getting ready to put something on you that soap won't wash off. And so hopefully they're taking it seriously. Mark Meadows, of course, is trying to go federal. Maybe several people are going to do that. But even if you went federal, it would be subject to state law. And so at the end of the day, you're not going to be pardonable, if there ends up being an issue in that regard. So they've got a serious problem. How the mighty have fallen. Rudy Giuliani getting prosecuted under similar type of laws like RICO that he used to actually make his career. And so it's interesting on a lot of levels. Of course, Trump will get off the oxygen in the room tomorrow. I wonder if there's ever any moment where he really just thinks to himself, how on earth did I wind up arrested 3 or 4 times and in these places I thought that I would never see, despite the fact that I did things that some would believe are criminal. And my final point, I would say, my uncle Stephen James from New Iberia, Louisiana, says no self-respecting Southerner would ever put sugar on grits. That's all I'm saying.
Man, we don't give a damn what your uncle got to say.
Roland, when you eat shrimp and grits, do you add sugar to it?
I separate
your shrimp and grits?
I separate that shit.
Oh, so you want your grits separate but equal? When
I have shrimp and grits, I put the damn shrimp in solitary confinement, and I got my grits over here. You damn right. And let me be real clear: when you paying for it, you can have it any damn way you want to. And I don't care.
But that's cream of wheat then. If you want sugar, eat cream of wheat.
Guess what? With cream and wheat, you got to add cream and sugar. Damn it, I don't want evaporated milk with my damn grits. You heard?
We're gonna need an intervention.
I don't give a damn. Look, my daddy talking about it. He don't put sugar on the grits. I'm like, I don't care what he think, and he just texts me. I do not care. I ain't never succumbed to peer pressure.
He said,
Is this childhood trauma?
other than to get
When
kids
did you
to eat it.
start
That's what
putting
he said.
sugar in your grits?
I don't give a damn. Let it be real clear.
This is like that little test where they pick, do you want the black doll or the white doll? Roland is picking the little sugar doll over there.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? 3 words. Do not care. Period.
Well, that helps. That helps.
Period. Do not care.
But I will say, if any of the people can't make bond, they do have grits on the hot cart in the morning at the Fulton County Jail. So as long as you can have somebody put some money on your books, and then you get the sugar packets from commissary, and also in your cell. Turns out you don't actually need boiling water to make ramen. If you take a little packet and just put some hot water from the sink in it, you actually can make your noodles that way. So any of the future Trump inmates, just hit me up for more prison recipe ideas for Rice Street.
Yeah, go on right ahead. And I tell you what, I'm going to have that damn sugar on the grits. All right, I got to go to a quick break. When I come back, we're going to talk about what's happening in Tennessee. I can tell y'all the Republicans have lost their damn mind in Tennessee as well. They keep playing, acting like a damn fool. And look, when these white folks going to learn to recognize that they treating them like they treating us? I'm going to show you when I come back. Plus, we're going to recap Ced The Entertainer 10th Annual Golf Classic in Cabo. And Steve Harvey came for Uncle Roro. And Omega coming for an alpha? That never ends well for Omegas. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Be sure to support us. So your check and money order, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. Cash App, $RM Unfiltered. PayPal, R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Be sure to download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. And of course, you can buy my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds, available at bookstores nationwide. We'll be right back.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, have you ever had that $1 million idea and wondered how you could make it a reality? On the next Get Wealthy, you're going to meet Liska Askalise, the inventress, someone who made her own idea a reality and now is showing others how they can do it too.
Positive, focusing in on the thing that you want to do, writing it down, and not speaking to naysayers or anybody about your product until you've taken some steps to at least execute.
Liska Askalise on the next Get Wealthy, right here, only on Black Star Network.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around black women's bodies, even black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
Carl Payne pretending to be Roland Martin. Holla! You ain't got to wear black and gold every damn place, okay? Ooh, I'm an alpha, yay! All right, you're 58 years old. It's over.
And you are now watching
Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Uncut, unplugged, and undamn believable.
A Tennessee judge has temporarily blocked a new rule advanced by the State House Republicans banning the public from holding signs during Flora and committee proceedings. Yeah, seriously, the ruling comes after state troopers forcibly removed 3 individuals who held minor signs advocating for gun control during a hearing. Wow, you could bring guns into the meeting but not signs? The new rule and removal of individuals holding signs have sparked a more extensive debate over free speech and public access in the Tennessee legislature. While symbols were banned, the public could again freely carry firearms in the legislative office building. The ACLU of Tennessee has strongly condemned the ban, branding it as unreasonable and violating constitutional rights. A hearing on the temporary injunction has been scheduled for September 5th. Now, the same legislature, they have done more to silence Representative Justin Jones, who, of course, won his re-election. Remember, he was kicked out, then he won re-election. Well, House Speaker Cameron Sexton has now been trying to ban him. Literally, like the brother could be talking and they'll just simply turn the mic off. Straight up. Press play.
Jones, under unfinished business.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we're talking about committees, I'm still seeking an answer as to whether members who are stripped of committee will be restored to their rightful committees that you removed them from on April 3rd.
You're out of order. Next order, Mr. Clark. Representative Jones, what's your point of order?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Can you explain how my question was out of order and why you silenced my microphone? Can you explain under what rule?
Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we were on unfinished business at the time of the question.
Representative Jones.
So members can ask about the heat in the building, but I can't ask about committees that my constituents send me here to represent them on. Is that what you're telling me?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Speaker, the representative did not present any unfinished business at the time they asked a question about committee assignments.
Representative Jones.
So asking about the room temperature is asking about unfinished business, but asking about committee assignments is not. Can you explain how one is in order and one is not in order?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Speaker, the Speaker of the House makes rulings on what is in order and not in order under any particular order of business.
Representative Jones.
So, Mr. Speaker, my question then is to you, not to the parliamentarian. Why did you rule my question out of order when you did not rule a question about that were outside of the scope?
Representative Jones, you asked, I think, Mr. Clerk, if I'm right, a parliamentary question which would go to the clerk. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, that's correct.
So we're moving on.
These people literally have no shame. They got no shame. But this is what they do. This is what they do all the time, Rebecca, and this is how they're going to flex power. And I would hope those white folks in Tennessee who've been kicked out just for holding signs, I hope those people are voting like hell in the next election.
You know, Justin Jones is really leading a movement in Tennessee. I hope folks in Tennessee are supporting him, getting behind him, and like you said, getting ready to vote. Like, start now for 2024, start knocking on doors, letting folks know what's happening in Tennessee, work on a plan to make sure that the 1 out of 2, I think it's about 20, I think it's 1 out of 5 adult blacks in Tennessee are ineligible to vote because of felony disenfranchisement. And so there needs to be a plan to make sure that there is a movement to build political power in Tennessee. Because right now we see that something's happening in Tennessee and that the good old boys are being shooketh in Tennessee. That's the reason why they're going so hard in the paint after Justin Jones and folks like him that are leading a movement. I really want to see not just folks in Tennessee, but even national folks pouring in resources to make sure that they're supporting this young brother in Tennessee.
Robert?
This is part of the slow-moving fascist coup that we talked about nationwide. This idea that even if you are elected and then thrown out and then put back in, they'll take away your committee assignments. They don't want to have you speaking. They'll use parliamentary rule to try to silence dissent. And the reason is that from 2008 through about the time Obama left office, during the era of Obama, Democrats lost about 1,044 elections on the state and local level nationwide. While we were concentrating so much on presidential races, while we're stripping resources from state and local parties, while we were trying to make sure that we can maintain power in the White House, Republicans went through and they racked up on these state and local elections to the point that if you look at the demographics of many states, they're completely out of whack with what you see as far as representation in their state legislatures. And because of gerrymandering over the course of 2010 and 2020, they re-solidified that power. And it's going to take a very consecrated effort to de-entrench them from those legislative seats around the country, because the reason they are pushing for federalism, the reason they took on the federal judiciary. They are kicking so many things back to the states. They're kicking affirmative actions to the state. They're kicking religious liberty to the state. They're kicking women's rights to the states. They know they've taken over these state legislatures, and they'll be able to legislate as a federalized republic, an Articles of Confederation republic, which is what they want to go back to because they understand they cannot win on the federal level. So we have to concentrate on organizing people in every single municipality to turn out and vote, because if we vote our numbers, we can turn back the decade of progress they've made and negating our rights.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks, hold tight 1 second. I got to go to break. We come back. We will recap the 10th annual Ced The Entertainer Golf Classic that took place in Cabo. Man, we were out there doing our thing, you know, and again, you know, a lot of these folks out here, they love talking all this trash. I love these cats who always talking about how they can play golf. Y'all go ahead and roll it. But I keep trying to tell these people, y'all don't want to mess with me and my golf swing. Y'all don't want no parts of this. None of this. Oh, I heard you in the control room, Carol. Yeah, your ass was real loud. I heard you in there. So, yeah, I heard you. I keep telling y'all, y'all don't want no parts of this. And so Steve Harvey also played in the golf tournament. And wait till I show you what he did on the golf course that he directed at me. And then I had to tell him how many of these nice long putts I made. And you know we got every single one of them on video. That's how we do it. So we're going to show that next right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Y'all can't mess with that swing. Grown-ass man that play. Back in a moment.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around black women, black women's bodies, even black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, have you ever had that $1 million idea and wondered how you could make it a reality? On the next Get Wealthy, you're going to meet Liska Askalise, the inventress, someone who made her own idea a reality and now is showing others how they can do it too.
Positive, focusing in on the thing that you want to do, writing it down, and not speaking to naysayers or anybody about your product until you've taken some steps to at least execute.
Liska Askalise on the next Get Wealthy right here, only on Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Paula J. Parker. Truly proud on the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder on Disney+. And you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
First of all, Sunday and Monday, but the golf tournament was in Cabo, the 10th annual Ced The Entertainer golf tournament. Man, we had an absolute blast on the links there. And so, of course, I handled the auction on Sunday, raised money for Ced's Foundation, which helps out, of course, a number of foundations, Boys and Girls Club, diabetes groups. And so, man, it was an absolute great time. A great time playing golf there. Of course, I played in Ced's tournament. Now, y'all know, look, I'm always playing golf. I literally got a putting green here in the office, so I need to work on my game. I'll go ahead and do that. And so it's always fun. This was the first time it was in Cabo. Hammond Entertainment, they handle the everything along those lines. Anthony Anderson and I, we handled the auction on Sunday. I did the auction for Anthony's tournament as well, also George Lopez. And so had a good time raising some money for them as well. And so we caught up with Ced on the golf course. So check this out.
Damn that. What's up, man? Shout out, man. Appreciate everybody down here. Ced The Entertainer 10 Celebrity Golf Classic, and we are in Cabo, man. We came through the storm, and we out having a beautiful time, man. A lot of great people came down and supported the cause. Kyle's Family Foundation, big up, man. Shout out Roland Martin, always doing his thing, always showing up, being a great help, being a great Samaritan. Raised a lot of money for me last night. Thank you there, Roland. Appreciate you, man. Let's go.
Got it. Also, of course, it was way too much fun on the course. And there's always going to be some trash talking. And you know how I feel about these Omegas, because they ain't alphas. I mean, they're a little group, okay? And one of the biggest trash talkers is David Justice. He came to the tournament this year looking like a big old pylon. And, you know, he was always running his mouth. So check this out. Yeah, I'm video. So what? Did you want to come out here being best? I mean, first of all, do we have pink shoes?
No. But see the blue and the blue
okay.
in the shirt.
Oh.
I know you saw that.
Oh, you decided to John Witherspoon coordinate.
Roll. Listen. You know, those of us who are capable of wearing outfits like this, you know, this is how we dress. You know, I don't want you to turn the camera on yourself right now because you're not representing Alpha API to the fullest today.
First of all,
you're really not.
First of all, let me explain something.
Those pantalones. Hey, look at his shorts. Look at his shorts, y'all.
Explain something to y'all. First of all, I got the bag. I got the personalized shoes.
Bag at?
Oh, come on.
Well, you ain't got your Chick-fil-A outfit on today.
Oh, no, come on.
I want to go see you.
Yeah, come on. Let me walk you on down here. Because that little bland-ass bag you got, you know.
Oh, you ain't see mine.
I mean, it's a bland white bag.
White Gucci bag.
No, that's Moochie. That's Moochie. That's Moochie.
You sure you want to walk with all this pink?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Susan B.
About when you wear pink,
Susan G. Coleman gonna be calling you.
Tell him your walk is different when you wear pink.
Really, I don't know what's wrong with this boy. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's so extra. He's so extra. Let's go and walk on down here.
Daddy, they getting on me about my outfit. I told them only a few of us can wear this.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Only if you can pull it off.
You ain't lying, because that Russian aircraft just blew up. They spotted your ass. So we were sitting here, and of course, David doing his thing. And then they had Best Dress. And I don't know why they decided to give David Best Dress. I voted for the white guy, Phil. He had on some flower shorts. I wasn't giving David no damn award. So check this out, y'all. The vote was rigged. It was rigged.
Hating ass.
It was rigged. Come on and pay attention. Come on, Doc. I called.
Why are you in the back row yelling for somebody else? Man, what's wrong with you, dog? You know what I mean? Come on, look at this outfit. How am I gonna lose Best Dress?
Now for third place.
We'll talk about it.
With the 53, David Justice.
Oh, what David
Third place.
It happened.
Third place.
What place did y'all come in, Ron?
Third place.
Ron, what place y'all come in?
You came in first.
What y'all come in? Now you gonna be like, hold on, we gotta get the team. Come on. So you guys stand down. Hey, I want to see the eraser on the team that beat us.
Make sure you don't hold us by the tip.
Stand on here, Pete. I know you always want to be on stage.
Yeah, right here with y'all.
You guys stand. You'll be up here. You guys would scoot in here.
Yeah, she said don't hold it by the tip.
Talking over there, Eric.
Just what I heard.
DL, I hear y'all talking shit over there. Yeah.
We see who the other players are. David didn't contribute to that group at all.
And now for second place. And I knew we should have made that putt on the first hole of 53, Ced The Entertainer.
Yeah! DJ Khaled!
If you put it on the gram, it's real.
If you put it on the gram, it's real. I'm gonna come back and win after this. When we pop the champagne, I'm gonna be the winner. But let's go with who really won, though.
Just y'all two?
Channing, where are you?
Yeah.
Channing.
Oh, Channing. Yeah, come on, Channing. And then we have. Thank you.
Man, we started with the par, you
we
guys.
have the spirit of Richard Stevenson with us. Hold your bottle. Let someone else hold it.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
David?
So y'all got second place?
Second place first.
All y'all did was drink. Y'all drank the whole round.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
So we lost by 1 shot.
Oh.
The winning score was 52. Steve Harvey.
Oh.
Come on, Steve.
Oh, that cheating motherfucker! How the fuck Steve Harvey win?
Coming through. Coming through. You trying to say I'm still the goddamn stop?
Yes! Yes! You number 2!
Come on, dog.
You number 2!
Come on up, man. Come on, man. What a team, man. Oh, y'all had a young gun. Y'all come on up, man.
You had money.
No, you're right here. I'm right here. Get on in there, man.
They don't even look like they believe they won.
Yeah, we knew we won. Believe it, baby. Believe it.
Hey, Justin,
but you can believe this shit, though. Yeah. What's up, baby?
This nigga don't even look like he play golf. Hey, Midnight, stop. Come on.
No, I beat Midnight. Man. Catch my ass in the dawn, motherfucker. Yeah. I beat Midnight, but catch me in the dawn. Getting that thing, boy. Hey, Justin, Baby Rockweiler right here. Remember that. Hey, man, that was it. Hey, guys, thank y'all so much, man. It was so give yourselves a round of applause. This shit was dope. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed y'all. I appreciate everybody coming down. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Impending Entertainment, all the supporters, all the sponsors. Thank y'all so much. Everybody who travels, thank y'all, man. Let's go. Enjoy yourselves, man. Appreciate it.
Give it up for Cedric once again, and thank you all for your support. Travel safe, have a good time tonight, and see you next year. God bless.
He carried us like the Republicans is carrying Trump. Indictments and all.
You hit him well, man?
I hit him all right. I had some good teammates, though.
Nah, man, Baby Rock.
I couldn't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. I couldn't do it by myself.
Well, let me tell you something. For the first 8 holes, I was in there.
You was the man. You was handling business.
You was handling business, and then you showed
Passing
up.
our waters?
Nah, I just did what I was told to do.
I was doing my thing.
Okay, all right.
But then I told Blue, I said, Blue, come on, man. And then I woke up the sleeping giant, and then he was rolling in all the putts. All of them. Yeah, we got the one on there. Look at it. One putt, that's it. He rolled in all the cars. You're the one. But rolling. At the end, though, our last hole, I sank that 20-footer, and I dedicated it to Rolling Marc. Marc, it's going to be on video, Rolling. It's going to be on video. I'm going to get it. He called your name.
I want to see the video.
Oh, he got you.
It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere.
He said, you called Rolling and tell Rolling what I did. It's on. My man said, I got it on camera. Make sure you get it.
Oh, the 20-way putt?
Camera with the rap.
Yeah, we can get that to you. We can go through Bill Hammond's guy. Do you have any associated with Bill Hammond or no? All right, we'll send it to Bill, and then Bill will
I need
get
it today.
Now, you don't understand that. We'll try and get you
how much trash I was talking. I dedicated the whole thing to Rolling Marc.
Every chance he got, he was talking shit about you.
It's all good.
Because I know he's somewhere talking trash.
I was.
Because Rolling can play. See, I'm the greatest every now and then golfer ever lived. Because I only get to play every now and then, and I'm the same. Last time I played was my golf tournament in June.
Hell, I was there.
And then the next time I
played 15 times between your tournament here.
No, next time I play was Ced's tournament. Next time I play will be my golf tournament in Abu Dhabi. You got to come out to that, Rolling.
Tell Shane, let me know. I love to come. I love to come, dog. You know me, have clubs, we'll travel. All right, y'all heard Steve, hey, invited me to the Abu Dhabi tournament. I'll be there. All right, so Steve was talking about all the trash he talked. They sent me the video. So let me show y'all this 20-foot putt that Steve Harvey made to finish their winning round of golf. Check it out.
Bingo! Bingo! Come on, baby! Come on, baby! Yeah, boy! Come on, baby!
Let's get started. You don't see that? You don't see that? That shit crooked.
For Rolling Martin.
Well, fix it right now.
I did it just for Rolling Martin. Bingo! My ass on the cart and go home. Last birdie of the day. That's how you close it out. Rolling Martin, waiting on you.
Oh, so that's the video Steve had, and so nice putt. Now let me tell y'all, when Steve told me that 20 foot, I said, now you know, Steve, I made about 4 of them. He was like, oh, he said, you gonna have your video up tonight. I gotta get mine up. And so I went ahead, y'all, and just want to let y'all know. See, again, y'all saw Steve putt. That's a great putt. That's a nice putt. It looked good, nice form. But y'all about to see why I got a putting green in my studio. I got the same one at the crib. See, this how alphas putt. Now see, I hit the drive. We putting for eagle. Watch this. Boom, walk it off. That was for eagle. That's how we did it. All right, here come the next long putt. Audio up.
There it is.
Now see, you know you putt good when you start walking before it goes in the hole. That's how you do it, before it goes in the hole. Here's another angle right here in case y'all missed that.
Get in there.
Oh, we ain't done.
Need it.
Here's the next long putt.
There you go. Uh-oh. There you go.
I think y'all need to see a different angle of that putt. Watch this here. Let's see that different angle of that putt. You need the wide angle of that putt. Here you go. See, when you know you made it, see, you just start walking before it even goes in the hole. That's how alphas do it. Oh, we ain't done, Steve Harvey. I got one more putt for y'all before we take this thing home. Here, actually, I got a couple of more. So here's one. Okay, nail it, boom. And here we go right here. Oh, actually, we missed that first. That was it. Man, we thought we had it. We finished 14 under for the day. We handled our business. It was great being out there with Ced. Man, I see that putt there I hit just a little too low. I had to go a little bit higher on this putt, so we went higher on this stroke right here. And so, but again, though, see, when you handle your business, that's what you do. So we were sitting here doing well, had a great time playing with Dennis, DL's guys, Ced, security guy as well. They keep putting me with these Kappas, though. I don't know what's up with that, y'all. But that was just way too much fun we had, of course, playing in the tournament. But we also believe in having a little good time. So here's us having way too much fun on the golf course, y'all. So we were there in Cabo, had a fabulous time. Again, want to appreciate Ced The Entertainer, everybody for having a good time. It's always fun. Let's see here. Joe, Rebecca, and Robert. Can any of y'all play golf? Any of y'all?
No, I can't help you. Nope, got nothing for you.
I wouldn't call myself a ringer at all. I have a godson that's pretty good though. So.
Well, first of all, a ringer is a good golfer. Can you even hit the ball?
I can hit the ball a little bit, but you saw I wasn't out there with y'all though.
Oh yeah. So he already he wouldn't be with us.
It's been a while. It's been a while back at golf. I'm a lefty, so I have my own Miss Lefty clubs downstairs.
Okay, first of all, what the hell does it mean? I'm sorry. What does it mean? It's been a while. What does that even mean? Look at that. Make that putt. What does that even mean?
It means I haven't got out there in a while, but it's all good.
Like define, Rebecca, define a while. What is a while? Like 6 months, 5 years, what?
When's the last time you put butter or salt and pepper on your grits?
Never. Never ever.
It's been less time than that.
That's a damn shame. Robert, I know your ass don't play because I shoot birdies. Your ass just shoot guns.
Yeah, see, the thing is, the only thing I know about playing golf is sitting in the cart getting drunk. So I'll be happy to attend the next event in Cabo or Dubai or wherever else, just to provide me a nice little mini bar, and I will be out there with y'all. So just holler at your boy. I'll head on out.
Well, look, for alcohol ain't never a problem on the course because let me show y'all. Because so when we showed y'all the video of the winners, folks in the control room like, what were the prizes? The second place team, let me see if I can find it right here. Because and it was probably the people asking all the drunks in the control room. And so go ahead, go to the video. Carol and them, they were asking, what's they holding? I said, that's tequila. That's tequila.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's what they got. So
that's Casa Azul.
Huh? Oh shit! Rebecca know the drink. See, that's why she ain't played golf since before I put salt and pepper on grits. I mean, she gonna name the tequila. She gonna name the tequila.
I used to golf a lot when I worked in the Hill, and then when I lobbied for a while.
Oh,
So it's been a while.
Okay, well.
But give me a little bit of time, and I'll be out there.
All right, well, y'all know that's what I do. So, when you practice your swing, that's how you can make those putts. All right. Joe, Rebecca, Robert, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on today's show. Thank you so very much. Hey, y'all, tomorrow I'm going to be in Milwaukee speaking tomorrow, and I'm doing my show from Milwaukee or Chicago tomorrow, depending upon when I can get out. So I'm speaking to, it's a fireside chat on the importance of supplier diversity. I'm speaking to the Milwaukee Business Council. That's taking place tomorrow, the Italian Community Center. That's going to be at noon in Milwaukee, so look forward to seeing you there. I will be live on the show, so I'll either be live from Milwaukee or from Chicago, because I'm flying up, flying back. Same day. So looking forward to being there. Back in studio on Friday. Saturday, I'm going to be going to the Dave Chappelle show in Madison Square Garden. Dave Chappelle, of course, is doing shows. His birthday is Thursday tomorrow. So I'm going to be going to New York, seeing Dave, getting some video of his show, and getting some stuff from him. Sunday, Invest Fest is in Atlanta. I'm going to stop through there. Isaac Hayes III, founder of Fan Base. I'm an investor. He's speaking. Robert Smith, richest black man in America, who's an alpha. He's speaking. I'm dropping by to see them. Randy Bryant, of course, DEI disruptor on the show. She's actually going to be there as well. So I'm popping in to see them. And then, of course, Monday, Chris Tucker's golf tournament is in Atlanta. I'm playing there. We'll have video of that as well. I'll be live from Atlanta on Monday. Tuesday, Savoy Magazine has their golf tournament. I'm playing then as well. And so I'll be live from Atlanta. And then I'm back in studio on Wednesday. So lots of stuff happening. And so, y'all, we're on the road. Things are happening. So looking forward to that. Yo, thank you so very much again. Hamlin Entertainment, Ced The Entertainer. Great, fabulous time there in Cabo. Please support the Cowles Family Foundation. They do some great work as well. Folks, don't forget, folks on YouTube, hit the like button, y'all. I don't know where we at. We should be over 1,000. Y'all know how we do. And so check us out. Let me see here. Because, some of y'all be sitting here commenting all doggone day. Y'all don't want to hit the doggone like button. All right, so we had 1,200, that's fine. So don't forget, y'all, follow us and also support us as well. Download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Support us as well. Bring the Funk Fan Club. It's critically important. Send your check and money order to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 20037-0196. Cash App, $RM Unfiltered. Of course, PayPal, R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo's RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And of course, be sure to get a copy of my book, White Fear, How the Brownie of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. Available at bookstores nationwide. Of course, you can get it right there on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. You can also get a copy right there on, get the audio version on Audible. All right, y'all. Yes, I'm rocking my Astros gear today. And so, Anthony, go to my iPad. As y'all see right there, my Astros, a half a game behind the Texas Rangers, the first place in the American League West. Rangers lost in OT in extra innings last night to Arizona. My Astros won, and so y'all, we about to walk them down doing what we do. And so representing H-Town all day, every day. So let me go and put my cowboy hat on so y'all understand how we do. So, you know, we fully representing. That's how we do it. Fully H-Town. So, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow right here, Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Keep it real, keep it black. And yes, I'm 100% H-Town. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Holla! Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Black power.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?